Spacefarer, command a fleet, mine shiny space pebbles, schmooze aliens, and follow your friends' moves in Transgalactica.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Transgalactica, game designed by Daniela Tascini and published by Devir Games.
And hi everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant, welcome to Meeple University.
And hey, if you enjoyed this video after watching, like, subscribe, and comments. You know what to do. Alright, now let's get to the classroom.
In Transgalactica, the Galactic Senate has declared an age of exploration. Now players play the roles of factions, exploring the outer reaches, building outposts, advancing their abilities in technology, military, and more, all in the aim of winning seats at the Galactic Senate and scoring victory points. Whoever can score the most points over 5 rounds of play will be the winner. The first printing of the rulebook does have some errors and a few clarifications needed, so this video is based on the living rules and errata at the time of filming. Do check the Devir Games website for the most current version of the rules. As such, I will take you step by step through setup. Lay out the main board using the map or the map overlay board corresponding to your player count. The map is the only thing which changes. Everything outside the map is the same on both sides of the board. On the map will be a central planet which is multicoloured, spaces for internal planets which show this icon, and spaces for external planets. From among all of the game's planet tiles, find the 4 basic action planets. These are the ones that show this icon, and for which both of the dotted circles are empty. Shuffle those 4 tiles and place 1 on each internal planet. Leftovers are shuffled with all other planets. Now shuffle the other planets and place 1 on each external planet space. Randomly seed some of the external planets with space pirates. To do this, separate the space pirate tiles into pirates and empties. Randomly keep pirates equal to the number of players plus 1. Keep a number of empties so that your total pool of pirates matches your number of external planets. Lay down 1 token per planet, flip them face up, and remove all the empties. Return all unplaced planets and pirates to the box. Set up the different decks of cards on the board. Find the Galactic Senate cards and sort them into 4 different small stacks based on the number of dots. Place 1 of each randomly face up into these slots and return the rest to the box. Down the left are the technologies. Split the technology deck into level 1s, 2s and 3s. Shuffle each deck separately, then take 3 cards from each and place them into their slots, arranging them from lowest number to highest number, top to bottom. Once the 9 cards are out, leftovers can go back to the box. On the right are the shuffled decks of level 1 and level 2 mission cards. Deal out 3 cards from the top of each, again rearranging them in numerical order, this time from lowest to highest, bottom to top. You'll have 3 level 1s and 3 level 2s, and this time the decks remain in play. You don't return leftovers to the box. Shuffle up the basic and advanced bonus tiles and seed the main board. You'll place a bonus marker onto each action planet, placing blue ones on the internal planets and red ones on external planets. And do note that instruction comes from the latest errata. Stacks of blue and red bonus tiles on the matching spaces on the tracks, with stacks matching the number showing on the space placed, and blue and red markers on the round track as well as the round counter. Return unplaced bonus tiles to the box. Take a player board and all of your coloured pieces. There will be 9 meeples in your colour, 3 large ones called captains, and 6 small ones called crew. In the 2-player game only, insert this piece into your board and place all 3 captains on the top of this space. At any other player count, place 2 captains into these spaces and return the chip and 3rd captain to the box. You play with fewer captains at the higher player counts. For the crew, place 1 Meeple into the leftmost active duty slot and place the rest in cryosleep. These 5 pieces are tech markers. Place 2 of them in your cargo bay. This is where you hold your resources and other gainables. And place the others in this column on spaces 1, 3, and 5. Shuffle your fleet income markers and place 1 face up in each of slots 2, 4, and 6. This piece is your politics marker. Place it here such that it separates the top steps on these tracks from all those below it. These 7 pieces are your outposts, and they go onto this track here. Now take your first outpost, and all remaining pieces go on the main board. With victory point markers placed on 0, all ships and starting outposts placed at the central planet, the hexagonal markers placed on the starting spaces of each of these 4 tracks, and priority markers set with a random first player and clockwise starting turn order. Make supplies of the resources, minerals, aliens, and energy, as well as the credits which come in 1s and 3s. By definition, credits are not considered resources. Throughout the game, this icon is used to mean any one of the 3 resources. Resources and credits are simply gained from and spent to these supplies, and are stored in your cargo bay. This icon reminds you that at any time you can spend 1 credit to gain either a mineral or energy. Find all of the white coloured mining tiles. Separate the 3 tiles which depict one of the resources, as well as one of these showing the ship, and only if you're playing a 5-player game, also one of the 1 victory point tiles. Shuffle up the separated tiles, and give each player 1 at random, which is placed at the top of the mining track, and immediately yields what's printed on it as a starting benefit. Shuffle up all the mining tiles which weren't dealt out, make a draw stack, and deal 1 face up to the mining action space. Shuffle and deal 2 objective cards to each player. These are personal objectives giving you a way to score at the end of the game, and you'll ultimately score at most 1 of these 2 cards. Finally, shuffle up the wealth cards and deal out a number of sets of 2 wealth cards equal to the number of players, and shuffle the skill tiles and deal out a number, again, equal to the number of players. In reverse turn order, each player drafts either a set of wealth cards or a skill tile, and then in forwards turn order, each player drafts 1 set of the other type. Immediately gain all the benefits on your wealth cards, and discard them, and slot your skill tile. This will either give you an immediate or ongoing benefit, which is now unique to your faction. You're now ready to play. Transgalactica plays over 5 rounds, and each round plays in 3 phases: income, action, and maintenance. In the income phase, all players will gain income for all unlocked or uncovered icons showing the open hand. These are found in many places, but in the very first round, your only incomes will come from your active duty crew track. So in this case, 1 resource of your choice and 5 victory points. There are many more incomes to be unlocked as we go through the game, and so I'll come back and explain these as we go along. The second phase, and the phase where most of the game takes place, is actions. The actions phase takes place in turns, and turns are taken in left to right turn order on the priority track. You will take several turns per round. You'll be taking actions using your captain and your active duty crew meeples. On the majority of your turns, take one of your captains, choose an unoccupied main action space represented by one of these 8 diamonds, place your captain, and immediately resolve the printed action. Then each other player in the turn order following on from you has the chance to follow your main action by taking the weaker secondary action. The player who chooses to do this must take either one of their captains or one of their duty crew, place it in this wedge-shaped secondary action space, and resolve the weaker action option. A player may choose not to follow. Once your turn is done, the main action you've chosen is blocked off for the rest of the round, and play would then pass to the next player in turn order to make a main action captain choice. This type of turn will be your only choice at the start of the game. But later on, once you've built outposts on action planets, which show again this diamond shape, you can spend your turn to place either a captain or a crew on that planet to resolve its action. When you take a planet action, there is no lead and follow. You will take the action and play will pass immediately to the next player. Once a planet's action has been used, it cannot be used again this round. If you cannot or don't wish to take either a main action or a planet action, then you may pass. Passing does not end your round. If you still have duty crew remaining, you can still follow other players' main actions. But once each player has passed once, you'll move on to the maintenance phase. So now we'll look at each of the 8 main actions, and we'll start with the 5 track actions. On the main board there are 4 tracks: technology, military, production, and politics, each with its own main and secondary action which helps you advance on that track. There's also a 5th track called the trade track. Its action is up here, but the track itself is represented by this column on your personal board. So let's go through each track in sequence. First is the technology track. When you take a main action here, you've got 2 choices. You can either advance 2 steps on the track, or advance 1 step on the track and take the track's special action, which is to develop technology. When you follow, your options are to advance 1 step or to develop technology. There is no resource cost to take either of these actions. When you develop technology, take a tech marker from your cargo bay. It must be from your cargo bay, not your trade track. Choose a tech card which is either beside your marker or further up the board. Right now, Teal could reach all 4 of these. The other 2 players could only reach these 3. Place your marker. If there's an infinite icon, then this is a passive ongoing ability that you'll have for the rest of the game. There are also some with a once-off immediate benefit or an end-game scoring method. Any number of players may develop the same tech. The green politics main action likewise lets you either advance 2 steps on the politics track or advance 1 step and take a mission card. Following lets you advance 1 step or take a mission card, and any time you advance a step on the politics track, also move your politics marker 1 slot down on your player board. There's nothing special or different about doing this, it's just a visual aid. Your position here should always match your position here. When you take a mission card, choose any one mission card which is either beside your marker or lower down the board. You'll replenish from the appropriate numbered deck at the end of your action, so before anyone follows you, and you'll rearrange in numerical order as you did in setup. Mission cards go on one of these slots at the bottom of your board, and you can hold at most 2. If you wish to gain a 3rd, discard one you already have. You can complete an active mission at any time on your turn by paying any cost showing above the line and meeting any track requirement showing below the line. Immediately gain the benefits on the right-hand side of the card and then keep it in case it contributes to any further combos or final scoring. Missions come in 3 colours for military, technology and trade. The third track is production, and this is how you gain resources from planets where you've built outposts. As the main action here, advance 1 step on the production track and produce. As the secondary action, advance 1 step or produce. When you produce, check the number of planets that you're eligible to produce from. Choose up to that many different planets where you've previously built an outpost. Then gain 1 resource from each chosen planet matching its colour. So, alien from green, energy from yellow, and mineral from purple. Treat a multicoloured planet as any one of its colours, and grey planets produce nothing. Those are the 3 free advancement tracks: production, technology, and politics. When you take the action, it costs you nothing to advance on the track, and if you gain an advancement on one of these tracks from any other effect in the game, that advancement is also free. The other 2 tracks, trade and military, are the non-free tracks, and you'll be paying resources to advance on them. This action space lets you advance on the trade track, and the standard cost for this advancement is 2 minerals and an alien. If you take the main action here, then you can advance 1 step at the basic cost with 1 discount. The discount is represented by this orange diamond icon. So interpret this as a cost of 2 minerals and an alien with a 1 resource discount. Taking the secondary action means paying the entire cost. Advancing on this track means moving the top token out of the track. If the top token is technology, then move it to your cargo bay. If the top token is fleet income, slide it to the left into your income column and immediately gain the reward printed on it. Lastly, there's the military track, and the standard cost to advance on this track is 2 energy and 1 credit. If you advance using the main action, you'll get a discount of either an energy or a credit, while if you take the secondary action, you'll pay the full price. Additionally, military is linked to technology. You cannot cross a line on the military track unless you've reached at least the required level on the technology track. Trade and military are always considered non-free advancements, and if you gain an advancement from any effect outside the standard actions, you should be assuming that you'll be paying the normal cost. For these effects, you would be paying the standard price less the discount of a mineral or an energy, while this effect gives you the advancement completely for free. This icon with the orange diamond inside a red circle means that the entire effect associated with it has no cost. Finally, across all 5 tracks, advancing can grant you other types of rewards. If you go on to a printed icon, immediately gain that icon once. The common printed bonus is to unlock a new crew from cryosleep, placing it into your duty crew row available to be used immediately. If you move to a space with a stack of bonus tiles, take the top tile. If it's a mining tile showing the augers in the 4 corners, then place it top to bottom in your mining column without immediately gaining the reward. If it's not a mining tile, collect it beside your board. As a free action on any turn, you can flip the tile face down to immediately gain its printed reward. Normally this will be once off for the entire game, unless you have access to a specific ability which lets you flip them face up again. If the bonus tiles are gone but there's a printed points reward, gain that instead. Finally, any time you advance a track to a step with an income marker, immediately gain that income. You'll then also have access to these for subsequent income phases. Next is exploration. With the exploration main action, you may move and you may build an outpost in either order. With the secondary action, you may move or build an outpost. When you move, there are two options, to move by path or to move by wormhole. If you move by path, count up your movement range. This will be equal to 1 plus 1 for each grey or partially grey planet where you have an outpost. Right now, teal's maximum movement range is 2, yellow's would be 3. Now move along up to that many paths going into orbit of your destination and pay the energy cost for each path you took. To move by wormhole, you must be at a planet which has a wormhole. Then spend 1 alien and move immediately to another planet with a wormhole. Multiple players may share the same planet. Some other effects will let you move outside the exploration action. This, for example, would be 1 move at no energy cost, but with no bonus movement for grey planets. This would be 2 movement under the same restriction. After completing an exploration movement, if your starship shares a planet with space pirates, you may try to defeat the pirates. This may happen only after an exploration movement, whether it's primary or secondary, not after any other type of movement. You defeat the pirates if your military level is equal or higher than that of the pirates. Take the token and place it in the next round slot of your income track. As for any income that you unlock, gain its points immediately. To build an outpost, your starship must be at a planet which doesn't have space pirates and which has at least 1 vacant outpost slot. If the slot you're looking at has a trade track requirement, then your trade track must have reached at least that level to build there. Take your leftmost outpost and pay the mineral cost printed above it, either 1 or 2. Now place the outpost. There are 3 types of planets. Action planets are the ones showing this icon, and if you're the first to build an outpost there, gain the bonus tile that was placed there. You now have access to this action on your future turns, but you gain no other immediate reward. A planet with an income hand is called a wilderness planet. In addition to the standard mineral cost to place the outpost, you must pay 1 duty crew. Take it from your board and remove it from the game. Finally, a planet with the mining auger at the top is a mining planet, and when you build an outpost there, immediately mine it once, gaining its reward. Treat your outposts like a track, just like any other. That means as you uncover icons, you immediately gain the rewards, and as you uncover incomes, immediately gain them once. Like for your non-free tracks, you should always assume that you'll be paying the cost of an outpost you place, unless otherwise stated. The 7th action is mining, and this is where you'll gain rewards from the mining column of your player board. For the main action, take the mining tile from that space, placing it top to bottom in your mining column. Then mine your column and mine all of your mining planets. The secondary action is to mine your column and your mining planets without gaining a further tile. When you mine your column, gain the rewards from top to bottom up until you reach your politics track level. So here, teal would gain an alien and a point, but would not gain this credit. Then to mine your mining planets, gain the reward from every mining planet which has one of your outposts. You can hold at most 6 mining tiles and cannot gain more once you're full. To be clear, mining tiles are not like incomes. You never gain these immediately upon taking them, except for the one you took in setup. You must always trigger a mining action to gain their effects. The 8th and final action space is the Omni. When you take the main action here, pay either a credit or an alien to take any other main action on the board, whether occupied or unoccupied, and at its full normal cost. Then anyone who follows again pays either a credit or an alien to take any other secondary action at its full normal cost. followers can choose any secondary action. They do not have to choose the secondary action associated with the main action that the lead player took. So, in summary, there are 8 main actions on the board, and on most turns you'll activate one with a captain, and then in turn order players may follow, taking the secondary action with either a captain or crew. The technology action results in advancements on the technology track or unlocking technology cards. Military means paying to advance on the military track at a discount if you took the main action over the secondary. Production means advancing on the production track and producing resources from your outposts on the planets. Politics means advancing on the politics track, which both gives you access to better mining and incomes, and lets you take mission cards to complete for points and rewards. Trade means paying to advance on your personal trade track for more tech tokens and income tiles. Exploration allows for movement, fighting space pirates, and building outposts. Mining allows you to build up your mining track and mine from your player boards and planets. And the Omni lets you take an action from elsewhere on the board. You can also spend your turn placing a captain or a crew to take the action on an action planet where you have an outpost. No one may follow when you do this. In setup, 4 Galactic Decree cards were placed, and during your turn, if you meet the objective on any one of these decrees, you can claim a seat in the Galactic Senate. Take the card whose objective you meet. Move it into any one of the 4 Galactic Senate seats that you wish. Permanently place one of your duty crew members on the first seat of that Senate. Then gain the rewards printed above. So here, 5 points, and a step on the trade or military track. And do note all rewards in the Galactic Senate are free. They're missing the total discount icon. If a second player ever meets the same decree, they also place a duty crew there and gain the same reward. And the player who placed there first gains 1 free credit from the supply. Once everyone has passed in the action phase, move on to the maintenance phase and follow these 6 steps. The first 2 are to score the military track. The player or players furthest ahead gain points, and the player or players furthest behind lose points equal to the difference between their position and the next placed player. In this scenario, red would gain a point, yellow would lose 2, while in this case, red and teal would each gain 3 and yellow would lose 3. Players retrieve all captains and crew from action spaces, including action planets, being sure to leave crew in the Galactic Senate. In the rare case that this gives you more than 4 duty crew, send any excess back to cryo. Add a new tile to the mining slot if it's empty. Next, update the priority track based on how many outposts each player has built, making the updates from right to left based on current order. So for example, if red now had 2 outposts, red would move to here. If yellow had 3 outposts, yellow would move to here, and if teal had 2 outposts, teal would move to here. Always place your marker on the right of any players already in the slot you're moving to. This now sets the next round's turn order from left to right. Finally, advance the round counter and give the next round's bonus tile to the new first player. This now takes us back to the next round's income phase, and now I'll show you what a full income phase looks like. You still gain uncovered income icons from your duty crew row. And do note, your income here is going to reduce the more active crew you have at a time. Gain all uncovered incomes on your outpost track. From your income column, gain incomes that are above your politics track position. That means here I'm getting 2 points and a credit. Just like your mining track, you need to keep your politics track advancing to make the most of these incomes. Then gain the victory point income next to each position of one of your markers on a track, and the incomes from any wilderness planets where you have an outpost. After the 5th round's maintenance phase, the game is over. Gain the points on any end-game scoring tech cards. Reveal, choose and score one of your 2 objective cards. This, for example, is 3 points for each Spacefarer you've defeated and military mission you've completed. Finally, gain a point for each leftover credit and a point for each leftover 3 resources. The player with the highest score wins, and if tied, victory is shared.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, maybe you'd like to watch this next one. Have a great day. Bye!